The Insured Zone. The Insured Zone with Bet Insured.
Of course, the FIFA World Club Cup has taken center stage, and of course, action has begun. We have seen some disappointing results, and then we have seen some very, very intriguing results. Trust the best team in Europe, Paris Saint-Germain. They came firing, blazing fires from all angles, and they actually defeated another big European competitor in this competition. Talking about Paris Saint-Germain versus Atletico Madrid. Guys, it's the Ensure Zone podcast brought to you by Bet Ensure, the biggest and the most reliable sport prediction platform in the world. I am FM Karik, and the usual suspect is beside me, Kaka. How are you doing, Kaka?
I'm wonderful. I'm fantastic. How are you doing yourself?
Great. The FIFA World Club Cup action has begun. We have seen some interesting games. A lot of people were disappointed at the first game. They were expecting go Alali versus Inter Miami, but then it was a very interesting match. But then we have seen some interesting games afterwards.
Yeah. Even though the match ended 0-0, the first game, I mean, trust me, it was a fantastic watch. I mean, it looks like a tournament a match for goalkeepers.
Of course,
so both teams goalkeepers were.
And these goalkeepers are not young goalkeepers, exactly. Veterans in the game, 38 years old, 36 years old.
Both of them, they are veterans in the game. But I mean, going forward, over the course of the tournaments, we'll see much more interesting matchups. I mean, disappointed to say, Bayern Munich,
it was a whitewash.
It was probably expected. I mean, you look at the crop of players between both teams, and
they were no match.
The margin was really wide. I mean, we try to give them a chance.
Of course.
But then Bayern Munich,
We'll still get to that because I have a question on that. But before we get down to business, guys, let's see the outcome of our games from last weekend. Then we go straight into it for today. Yes, welcome back, guys. Don't forget to tell somebody to like, share, subscribe, and also put on your notification button to get interesting content from us whenever it drops. And also visit www.betenshow.com to get interesting predictions across all sports. Now, straight to the games that we will be checking out. So it's still the FIFA World Club Cup. And then the first game is the game between Flamengo and Chelsea. The last time Chelsea played in this competition, they defeated Los Angeles Football Club 2-0. It ended in favor of the Blues, and Delap coming on to make an interesting assist. Fantastic debut for the Englishman. And then Flamengo also got the better of their opponent experience of Tunisia in the first game. And going forward, do you think Flamengo will pose a big threat to Chelsea in this game?
I think so. I'll say the game with Chelsea and Los Angeles the other day, and Chelsea were a bit that convincing. They got the job done.
Of course.
They weren't that convincing against an LA side. I thought they are the best team when it comes to, even in the MLS, it is struggling. But then Chelsea got the job done. On the other hand, Flamengo, I think they were a bit
the Brazilian side.
They were a bit convincing against Experience. I actually thought Experience would pose a bigger, much more serious threat, but it was quite easy. But coming into this one, it's a Brazilian side. You don't take anything away from this Brazilian.
Of course.
You look at Boca Juniors against Benfica as well. I mean, they got the points against Benfica. I mean, they probably should have won that game. But then, I mean, all these South American teams, you can't predict them.
You don't write them off.
You don't write them off. They are aggressive. I mean, they fight. They play for the. I mean, they actually had a lot of supporters in the stands as well. Compared to the European teams, But yeah, coming to this one, I expect goals in this one, and I think probably the difference in players, the quality in players will probably get Chelsea over the line.
Of course, the difference might be the quality in players. Talking about Flamengo versus Chelsea. Guys, let's get to see our prediction for the game between these two sides. And on to the next one, another big one of the big boys and the team that has actually gotten the highest number of goals so far in this competition. Talking about Bayern Munich, yes, they'll be taking on Boca Juniors of Argentina. A tough game is expected because Boca Juniors are a very, a legendary side that we know of their history. They have a very history, one of the biggest teams from South America, taking on the biggest team from Germany. Talking about Bayern Munich, another interesting game to look forward to.
Yeah, I was watching Boca Juniors against Benfica the other day. I mean, you just have to be ready for the aggressiveness. They are very aggressive,
of course,
and they are very good on the counter. And when they go forward, they seem to always make things happen. But Bayern Munich, on the other hand, they are much more different team. I mean, probably one of the better team in Europe currently. I mean, the walloped class City. I mean, no mercy there. And Boca Juniors, I think, on the other hand, they're actually solid defensively.
Of course.
Yeah, I think they are solid. Like you said, they are one of the legendary teams in world football. And they have the presence of the fans as well. I think the fans, they came in their numbers. They actually came in their numbers. Coming into this one, it's more or less like quality in players. I mean, it's a even there's no way you want to look at it. You just can't write off the quality of the players on both sides, and I think probably be convincing win for Bayern Munich.
Okay, probably convincing win for Bayern Munich, but then I think this is one game to really look out for. It will definitely be interesting. Guys, let's see our prediction for the game between Bayern Munich and Boca Juniors. And now to the Yellow Boys. Yes, the Yellow Boys are from South Africa and the Yellow Boys are from Germany. Talking about Mamelodi Sundowns. Yes, the South African champion taking on Borussia Dortmund. This game, we might say this game is a little bit one-sided. Looking at the quality of players in the Dortmund side, but then this Mamelodi Sundowns side have been dominating the South African league for a while now, and also on the continent in a few years they have been very consistent. And going into this game, I think a few players will really want to shine. This is a game that we have to really look forward to. Also, I want to see how the African boys will perform in this game.
Yeah, you look at the African sides, and majority of the players, I think they know each other well, because majority of them, I think, they play in the division.
Of course.
Like you said, Mamelodi Sundowns have been dominating the South African league, and even they just lost in the final of the CAF Champions League a few weeks ago, and definitely can rule them out. They're a good side, they're a decent side on their day. But coming into this one, Borussia Dortmund, I mean,
with a crop of young talents, and
they're always around Europe. I mean, they probably after Bayern Munich in the German league,
definitely
you probably take Borussia Dortmund. And coming into this one, I don't see Dortmund losing this one actually.
Of course, so we don't see Dortmund losing this one, but then will Mamelodi Sundowns show some surprises. Hey, let's see our prediction for the game between Mamelodi Sundowns and Borussia Dortmund. And quick fire straight to one of the big boys are talking about the Galacticos of Real Madrid. We'll be taking on Pachuca, a Mexican side. Real Madrid versus Pachuca. Hey, on paper, this should be a one-sided game, a write-off. But then we shouldn't just push any team aside in this competition.
Yeah, we shouldn't. But I mean, Real Madrid, probably the biggest team in the world.
Of course.
So yeah, Portugal would only
Try their best.
only try their best. I'm sorry, but I think should be an easy way for Real Madrid.
Of course.
I see an easy way, and I see a lot of push in this one as well.
But then Real Madrid, the crossover new intakes in the team, they want to prove themselves. They're not seeing in defense. The young lad, talented defender at the age of 18, already in the biggest team in the world, like you said, probably. And going into this competition, some of them will want to keep their place, cement their spot in the squad to convince Xabi Alonso that they are ready to start.
Yeah, Xabi Alonso would definitely want to make a mark. To put his foot on the gas as soon as possible in Real Madrid, and this competition actually proves probably a way for him to get his policies and his philosophy right across his players. Coming into this one, the crop of players, I mean,
the talent on the side. There might be too
absolutely.
much to handle for Pachuca.
They will have so much. I really hope the numbers do not get
outrageous like the Oakland City Bayern Munich.
I hope so.
Interesting, guys. And let's see our prediction for the game between Real Madrid and Pachuca. And to the last one we'll be talking about now, Inter Milan will be taking on Urawa Red Diamonds from Japan. Yes, Urawa Red Diamonds, another strong side from the Japanese league. They have been consistent a while in the Asian Champions League. And looking at this game, Inter Milan that lost out in the UEFA Champions League last time out, and also in the Serie A, they'll be looking forward to coming back stronger this season.
Yeah, Christian Chivu definitely want to make a stamp as well.
Of course.
A lot of changes in the way Inter Milan plays now, compared to their former manager,
Simone Inzaghi.
Exactly. Oh yeah, Urawa, like we said, just like Mamelodi, I think they're a very good side in the Japanese league. I mean, but the margin, the gap between the two leagues, it is far-fetched. You understand? And the crop of and the players, they are so them are the local
quality
and the quality, and the crop of players are they are the local ones. So yeah, coming into this one, Inter Milan, I don't see them struggling so much. I think the quality and individual quality in players and the leagues, I think would probably prove to be much more important than the team play.
Of course, individual quality and the quality of the leagues that they are coming from will play a big role in this one. Guys, let's check out our prediction for the game between Inter Milan and Urawa Red Diamonds. And for this week, these are predictions. Guys, go out, play these games, and also just keep it logged up right here on the Short Zone podcast. But before we say our buys, Kaka, a lot of people are of the opinion that some of these teams coming to the World Club Cup are not fit for this competition. They are thinking a worthy competitor, better teams should be selected up for this competition. Judging by the results of the Bayern Munich and Auckland City game, a lot of the Auckland City players are not professional footballers, to say, because they have other jobs they are doing compared to people that they live, they breathe, they drink football 24/7. Do you think some of these smaller teams like Auckland City shouldn't make the cuts for the next edition of the World Club Cup?
I don't think that's a fair argument on my point. I don't think that's fair. I think like FIFA, what FIFA stands for, it is a world football governing body.
Of course, it is.
It is for inclusion. Do you understand? And there is a criteria. There's a process to be involved in the Club World Cup. Since I think before now, we all know how the FIFA Club World Cup works.
Of course.
And it's a change in dynamics Why? Because he felt like it's giving advantage to the European teams. I think, especially the teams that won the Champions League.
Yeah, definitely.
Most of the time, they only just come to probably
I'm playing the semi-finals.
play the semi-finals and
the
the finals, and I don't think that says it doesn't put FIFA on a good pedestal. I think if you want to rule out these so-called small teams, so where's the inclusion?
Of course.
So I don't think that's a fact. I think the reason why we are saying this is, like I said, it's probably the early stages. We will still see fantastic. I mean, look at Boca Juniors. Boca Juniors actually puts a bigger threat to Benfica. They should have probably won that game. You look at Al Ali from Africa. I mean, from Egypt. I mean,
taking on an Inter Miami side.
That's Messi.
And they played fantastic.
They played well. I mean, I think they outplayed Inter Miami. Even the factor of Messi could not come to play.
Of course.
So you could say that the ideology is there and the promise is there. Going forward, I think we'll see better matchups, and I think that for me, I think it's a nice inclusion, and I think it's this expanded conversation. I think it gives teams the chance, and players, it gives them the chance to express themselves, and probably like scouts. So also look at
more talents that will come up the ranks
from all over the club.
Of course, guys, this is where we draw the curtain on the podcast for this weekend. Like I said, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and also put on your notification button to get more content from us whenever it drops, and also sign up on www.betensure.com and get interesting predictions across all sports. A big thank you to Kaka for making it here today.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having my pleasure.
Of course, I am FM Karika, and right here on the Ensure Zone podcast, don't forget, we don't just predict the future, we ensure it. Bye for now.